What's up, guys? Today's story has some strong language, so please be advised. This story is about a dad, his sister-in-law, and his two daughters. Trinidad Marin and Jacqie Rivera were very young when they started to date. She was still in high school and he was a bit older and already had a job. They lived a very modest life, while her younger siblings would come visit her all the time, and she only had one sister and she was a lot younger than her. And so her sister would come and visit them all the time. The abuse started, sister was just 7 years old. So the little girl would come over and sleep the night at their house because you know how family is. Hang out with your siblings. And also, dad had a daughter with Jacqie Rivera. And so the girls were around the same age. So they would play often together. The 7-year-old said that the first time he did anything to her, she was in the room playing with her doll and Trinidad's daughter. So he said, "Hey, can you step out?" And then he stayed in the room with just Rosie, the 7-year-old, and he laid a blanket out and he started to touch her and kiss her. And yet again, she was 7 years old, so she did not know what was going on. And this man is touching and playing with her, and he said it was just a game of love. Now, this continued till she was 11 years old. He would often touch her inappropriately whenever his wife wasn't home or she was asleep. And Rosie, the 7-year-old, recalls one of the first times that they were in the bathroom and he was naked. He grabbed her and he tried to force her to sit on top of him, but it hurt so much that she started to scream, so he covered her mouth, preventing her from screaming. She didn't know this was sexual abuse until she learned about it in school, and that's whenever he started to warn her and tell her that he would kill her sister if she opened her mouth and told anybody. She also said that she knew it was going to happen whenever they would be fighting. She would be really frightened at night because she knew he would creep into her room and touch her and do stuff to her. Trinidad and Jacqie eventually divorced, and that's whenever Trinidad didn't have access to Rosie anymore because she wouldn't go over to her house, or he didn't have contact with his sister-in-law anymore. So then he moved on to his daughter Chiquis.
You've been through everything. I mean, really, starting with the abuse at your father's hands.
Yes, at 8, and it stopped when I was 12. Dad sexually abused me for 4 years that I remember specifically, and he never admitted to it. He always called me a liar. He always said that I was lying, that my mom put this in my head, that she was a monster. But my mom never put this in my head. This is something that I remember.
He moved on to his daughter, Chiquis, at 7 years old, and she said she was terrified at night to sleep, and she also said that she didn't know what this was. I mean, a 7-year-old, she had just, first 7-year-olds don't know about this until probably like 5th grade. They both said that Trinidad was very charismatic, very nice. People gravitated towards him. But at night, it was a different story. That's when he would go into their rooms. So one day, Chiquis and Rosie, the sister-in-law and his daughter, were working together, and Chiquis said that the sister-in-law saw Trinidad and made a face and said, "Oh, I don't like him." And that's whenever Chiquis confessed that it was happening to her too. Whatever Trinidad did to Rosie he was doing it to her, and they made a pact that if it happened again, then that's when they would tell the mom. But they were nervous to tell the mom. I mean, you don't want to cause tension, or you don't want to make your mom sad. Finally, Rosie was 16, she decided to tell her sister about it, and that's whenever they confronted him. But whenever they tried to get him arrested, he ran away for 10 years, and then they finally caught him, put him in jail for 31 years. So Trinidad and Jacqie had another daughter named Jacqie, and she says she does not remember any sexual assault. But whenever she was checked by the doctors medically, they said that there was a possibility that she was sexually assaulted as well.
There's just a lot of emotions that I'm feeling like. And then I don't want to see him unless he does say sorry. I need him to say sorry because I need him to recognize that his choices did mess everything up.
I just want you to know, if you want to go see him and he wants to have a relationship with you, or I'm gonna be okay with it. I don't think you should live with that what if, especially if he's looking for you, you know?
I just need that closure, whether it's gonna be we're gonna keep a relationship or whether it's just the closure of I got to meet you, you know that I'm fine with or without him. And if he does say sorry, then I do, you know, like I do want that relationship, but if he doesn't, I don't.
So he's still in jail, right?
Yes, he's still in jail.
Do you talk to him at all?
I don't. I've tried. I wrote him letters before my mom passed. He never wanted to talk to me. But
does he blame you for the situation, or does he realize what he did?
No, he doesn't. He's never asked me for forgiveness. He's always accused me of being a liar. But there's just so much evidence that there's just no way. I mean, I remember all of it. So it's unfortunate. I forgive him. Now that my mom has passed, I don't feel the need to have a relationship with him. I'm okay with that. But I have forgiven him.
How did you get to that place? I mean, you've really overcome a lot in your life, and there's been other sexual abuse in the family and stuff like that. I mean, it really is, it's a lot.
Well, I think you just have to pull. I think it's difficult, but I think the most important thing is to pull anything positive that you can out of every situation. And I said, you know what, if this happened to me, I'm not going to victimize myself and be a victim of my past, but I'm going to try and help other people, which is what I